Bronzers.
Oh,
bronzers and cheeks.
Bronzers, my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, so I brought my two favorite of all time bronzers. One of them is from this year, and one of them is just like
all-time favorite.
All-time favorite, has stood the test of time. I'm gonna start with that one. That's Benefit Hoola.
Love that one.
Listen, I think it's really hard to find a bronzer that doesn't have a ton of like glitter and sparkle, you know, in it. And I want a really flat matte bronzer.
And that isn't really like warm and orange.
No orange. No orange at all.
It's beautiful. I love it.
This is the third one that I've had this year. So this
wow.
You
love it then. I
love it, and it lasts a long time. My favorite way to apply this is a brush from Crown Brushes, which is my favorite place to get brushes. This is their IB 103 flat bronzer, and this is their Italian Badger. So it's so soft. I love it. It's so nice. And I love like to buff, you know, once again, back to contouring. I'm going to buff it just under my like cheekbones, really buff it in. I'm going to hit the like, you know, sides of my nose. I'm going to hit up in here too, you know. So anyway, I think that these two you cannot go wrong.
I love that.
Sometimes if I'm going to run out without makeup on, I will just throw like a primer and this on and kind of go,
that's perfect,
you know, and be okay. And so that's just all-time favorite. And then my standout product of the year is the Bobbi Brown Aruba. This is their illuminating bronzing powder. I love it.
Ooh,
it has the most beautiful sheen to it. Now I use the MAC 150, and I'm just gonna hit the high points of my face. This is my very last step. And I'm just using this, and it sort of just kind of ties everything together. It doesn't adjust your contouring at all.
Is it shimmery? Like
it has a really nice sheen to it. I wouldn't say it's shimmery. It just has this sort of like very like, you just got back from Aruba. I mean, it's called Aruba.
Yeah.
And this is my standout product of the year. Favorite hands down product of the year. People always ask me if I just got back from vacation.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I've never tried that one before. I'm just new to the Bobbi Brown. That's a new brand for me.
Love the Bobbi Brown.
Any other bronzers? Or
nope, I limited it to two.
Okay, so I have a couple. One of them is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. Have you ever tried this?
Yes.
Okay, so one, it smells like chocolate, which is amazing.
So delicious.
They also came out with a lighter shade, the Milk Chocolate. I just like the original chocolate, and I'm very fair skinned, and I don't have an issue with it being too dark. The brush I like to apply to do like contouring on my cheeks is the Sedona Lace FB05. It's a nice like chiseled brush.
Yeah.
And I just like it for getting like right into your cheekbones. Love this. It's not too orange. It's matte. And it smells like chocolate, so nothing gets much better than that. So I love that one. Another one that I really love is Blunt from MAC. It's extremely dark looking and it looks very intimidating. But to be honest, I know I mentioned this in I think my favorites video last month, is that it is like a foolproof bronzer. Like it's dark, but it just, you can't get muddy with it. You can apply, just, you know, swirl it around and buff it in, and it blends really easily, and it doesn't get really muddy looking. I mean, if you kind of went wild on it, I'm sure you could make it look bad, but it's a great bronzer, I think, in my opinion, for beginners, because even though it looks dark, when you apply it, it just blends really nicely and looks very natural. So I love Blunt. It's like the perfect contour length. So when you're doing contouring, you don't want something that's really warm or orange toned, because that's not natural. Your contours are supposed to be, I mean, ideally if you could do more of a gray toned, you'd be better off, but the cooler the tone for your bronzer, the better off. It's a little bit more natural, because your shadows are like a gray, not a orange. So
I love that you highlighted that's a great bronzer for a beginner. Listen, that's the biggest mistake I think people make sometimes, is not blending their bronzer, and so you end up with like either an all bronzed face, which is a little Jersey Shore for me, or too big like chunks of bronzer, and being able to really buff it in. And I buff mine actually all the way down, and I'll buff mine down into my neck. Yes. Right here, trying to get a longer neck look and a thinner, kind of thins out your face. And so I mean, just be thinking about that, you know, and using like whatever your good buffing brush, but buffing that all the way down. Yeah, and that kind of segues into kind of my next thing, is I like to use a brush like this to apply it, you know, right here to my cheekbones. But then I take a brush like this, which is this is the old numbering from Sigma, but it's like their big fluffy tulip brush, or tapered brush, and I'll swirl it around, and then I go up along the hairline. I do kind of the 3E, and then I drag it along down the neckline, just to kind of make everything look really cohesive and like seamless, and not make it look like you have a really pretty bronzed face and then like a white neck. So it just kind of like ties it all together and makes it look really nice. So then my last powder bronzer, this is from Revlon, and it's their Photo Ready
bronzer, and I love this. It's a matte bronzer, and the great thing is it has 4 different quadrants. So really, no matter what skin tone you are, you can really mix and match the colors to get the perfect color, whether you're looking for bronzing or contouring. It just is really nice to be able to kind of mix and match depending on, you know, summer shades or winter shades. And so I really love that, and it is matte, and it's at the drugstore, which is really nice, so it's a cheap alternative. And then I have one cream bronzer, which was a new find for me. This is the Soleil Tan de Chanel Bronze Universal. Have you tried this?
No.
It's my only Chanel product. It is a kind of like it's a cream bronzer, and it looks kind of orangey when you're looking at it in here, but with a chisel brush, it gives you the most beautiful coverage. Some people apply this all over their face lightly. I just like to use this for contouring prior to putting on like my powder. So I'll do my foundation, and then I'll take like a flat chisel brush and kind of contour and chisel out my cheekbones, and then take a kind of a buffing brush and just kind of buff it in, and it gives you a really natural finish, and it's super blendable and like silky feeling.
This looks like it has some good staying power too.
It does.
I mean, just even blending it in, I was like, wow, that really looks like it's going to be on there.
And it's expensive. It's $50 for this, but I mean, really, this is going to last you forever. I've seen girls here on YouTube that have had theirs for 3 years, and there's like no dent in it.
Wow.
So highly recommend this.
Yeah, that looks like one you do not need to go heavy-handed on. No. With the color that it is. That's probably why it's going to last so long.
Yeah, and it's just luxury. It's Chanel, and it looks cute on your vanity. So I mean, come on, it's beautiful. So how about some blushes? Okay, now I really had a hard time this morning picking my favorite blushes of the year. So I limited it. I brought 3 with me, and actually 2 of them are a combination that I kind of do on a regular basis, and then one is kind of just an all-time standout. So I'll start with my all-time standout. It's Benefit Sugar Bomb. This is new to me this year. I don't think it came out. I don't think it's new this year. Yeah. But this is my first time using it. I don't know if you can see that, but it has 4 different quadrants in it too. Really cool colors, including even on kind of like a purpley plum in there. But honestly, I just think you can swirl your brush in there. I don't ever focus on one. Yeah. I do a good swirl, and I think you can hit your whole face kind of with this, and it's a really, really good kind of neutral, everyday rosy blush. Yeah, it's beautiful. I didn't bring Benefit Dallas, which is my all-time all-time favorite. If I was stranded on a desert island and I only had one blush, really I would need Dallas, because you can use Dallas on your crease, you can use Dallas as a contour, you can use Dallas on your apples. I mean, that's a great one. Get that one. Oh yeah, you do. But Sugar Bomb, I think, especially for women who are like scared of blush, because they don't want, like, you know, the crazy like blush balls, you know. Yeah, I think that Sugar Bomb is a really great blush for anybody, and actually any skin tone I think is going to work with that one. But my everyday kind of favorite this year has been the Stila Convertible Color in Camilla. I love this. It's a cream blush. So I put this blush on first. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. Yeah, it's like a bronzy, rosy, dusty it's a little bit dustier. Now, and I'll use this one. I hope you can't see all my brush bristles in there. But I'll use this one kind of on the apples of my like cheeks, like this. So that's what I'm going to start out with. And then I'm going to come in with NARS Orgasm, which is kind of like a cult favorite for everybody. Listen, I'm not going to lie, I've been using Orgasm for a long time. Let me say that. I know. I've been using NARS and their names. There's some really scandalous names. I know. I've been using this blush forever, and I love it. It's so pretty. It's so beautiful. It has the perfect sheen to it. It has a little bit of a shimmer. I love the corally orange. But this is the first time, this year is the first time that I've been mixing it with another product. And it probably tones down the coral. Way tones it down. Because if you can see, I don't know if you can see those two kind of together. They're really different colors. Yeah. Probably not necessarily colors that you would think to put together, but give you a really beautiful kind of sweet to your cheek. So these are my blushes that I love. And I always have like this in my purse. Yeah, that's pretty. I need to look into that one. Yeah, because also too, sometimes if you're like in a pinch, like, and you just need a little bit of something around your eye to kind of like jazz it up, it's great. So, and it's cute. And you like to use that brush? Is that your blush brush? Yeah, sorry. This is my MAC 168. And I actually have 2 of these. I have 2 of the exact same brush because I use one for the cream and one for the powder. And so that's what I'm going to do for a blush. And then a lot of times too, if I need to really like kind of blend out my blush, because sometimes you get it and it's a little bit too like blend it and mix it. And so this is the this is also from Crown Brush. This is their C424 Elite Soft Powder Brush.
So sometimes I'll use this for if I'm going to do a light dusting of my makeup forever, but I also find that this is a really good kind of just to buff your blush out, to tone it down a little bit. It's a really full powder brush.
I love that. I need to get more crown brushes.
Oh, everybody needs crown brushes.
So I have 3. I've narrowed it down to 3. 2 are drugstore, 1's MAC. The first drugstore one is this Rimmel blush in Autumn Catwalk, and it has 3 different shades to it, but it gives you the perfect like soft pink cheek, and it's just really pretty, and it's not too powdery. It blends beautifully, and it just gives you that perfect like peachy pink cheek. Plus you can kind of concentrate on any of the other colors if you
perfect for your apple. That's so cute.
If you're lighter skinned or darker skinned, you kind of go one way or the other. Another one, which this has been a long time favorite, it's e.l.f. Mary Berry blush, and it's a beautiful mauve.
That looks like Dallas.
And and I love this. I use this because I have more of a rounder face, so when I do my blush, I kind of more contour with my blush rather than apply it, you know, on the apples of my cheek, because that just makes me look rounder. This is a blush I find that I can kind of like really contour along my cheekbones with, along with my contour, because it is that like plummy tone, and it just kind of gives you those really like pretty chiseled cheekbones, but still has the blush, but it's not too much. And it's only $3 from Target. So
I wouldn't call it a dupe for Dallas because it's more of a plum, but it's really similar. If you like this, you'd love Dallas.
Love Dallas. Okay, I need to try that one then. And then the other one, which this is a newer one, it's from the Glamour Days collection, and it's Small Vanity. And this has been like one of my favorite blushes of all time. It's just a really pretty neutral, peachy, plummy color, but it goes with anything that you're wearing. So no matter what eye look you have or lip look you have, it like goes with everything. It blends beautifully, and again, that's Small Vanity, and that I think just re-released in the new collection from MAC. And then I guess I lied because I actually have more than 3. The other one is just kind of a brand general, is the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes, and you haven't tried these before.
I haven't, but they are getting great reviews.
They're amazing.
Everybody is reviewing these.
They're so amazing, and I did a whole video of swatches and my whole Tarte collection, because I have a bunch of them.
This guy.
That's beautiful. That's Blushing Bride.
Oh
really
my gosh.
Pretty. Standout one though, surprisingly, it's probably the least exciting one in this pan, is Exposed. This is a blush that again goes with anything you're wearing, and it's one of those blushes that I have not heard one person say they don't like. And I've not heard one person say that since they bought this, they have a very difficult time using any other blush. When I bought this, this was the only blush I used for probably 3 months, and I forced myself to use other blushes just because what it does to your cheeks, I mean, it looks nothing special like in the pan or, you know, even swatched, but when it gets on your cheeks, it like transforms to the most perfect blush in the world. So Tarte Exposed, really, really amazing. And then the two brushes, I like any of these from Sigma. These are their angled contour brushes. I love these. And then for cream blushes, I really love the buffing brush from Real Techniques. This was actually, these brushes from Samantha Chapman, who is Pixie Woo here on YouTube. She created all these brushes. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, she created a whole brush line, and a lot of them are amazing. And you can get them at Ulta.
Oh,
but I love them.
Great.
It feels really good. And with cream blushes, it's like phenomenal. So absolutely love that. And I think the last that we have for face is highlighting products. So go ahead, go tell me your highlights.
My absolute standout highlighting product of the year is gonna go to Benefit What's Up, which is such a funny little name, but it's like, you know, like light bulb Watts. I love it. I think it is so beautiful. It is the most pretty champagne color, and the finish is gorgeous.
Because it's not like chunky.
No,
it just glides on.
It's so smooth. It gives such a really pretty champagne finish. So now you have to be careful. You cannot go heavy-handed with this guy. I take this and I go really lightly, like almost like just like I would use like a highlighter pen, and just draw right down the center of my nose. I start kind of right here at the bridge, and I go right to the tip, and then I take my ring finger and I like just kind of blot it into my, like just kind of pushing it into my face, and then I'll swipe again right below like my eye. I don't want it like in my under eye.
Yeah, because I don't want to accentuate fine lines or
no, I'm a little older than you, so I have to really be careful about that. I cannot.
So kind of more like out here.
Yep, right here, kind of at the very top of your, if you feel the very top of your cheekbone, I'm gonna go swipe it like that. It comes with a little sponge applicator, and you can see that I've used it. I don't actually really like to use that. I mostly like to use my ring finger, and I'm just, once again, kind of pushing it into my skin and just kind of making sure that it's like not a line, but just kind of softening, buffing out the edges a little bit. But I think this is such a great product. People, this has gotten mixed reviews. I think you either love it or hate it. If you don't like it, I think you're probably not using it
too
properly.
Yeah.
And you're putting it where you shouldn't put it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, right down the bridge of your nose and right at the very top of your cheekbone.
Because you don't want to be highlighting problem areas, and you don't want to be putting highlighter by fine lines, by pores, because that's just going to accentuate that, because the highlighting is supposed to catch the light and bring those features out, so you don't want to bring out
and it's supposed to only be where light would actually kind of hit you.
Yeah.
So the high points of your face.
Yeah, so like you're here, 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 and even here, but I wouldn't even put like a shimmery thing here.
No.
Just concealer. A light concealer would be great.
The other place I'm going to do it is on my Cupid's bow.
Yes, yes.
Like after I've put my lipstick on, after I've put my lip liner, everything is on, I'll take like just my middle finger and I'm just going to barely dab it on there, and I'm just going to go right like that. Like
and just
right.
makes your lips look really plump.
Totally, right at my Cupid's bow.
Is that all your highlights?
I only brought one.
Okay, I have two, and then I have what I used to apply them. The first is, I love What's Up, but this was a newer find for me too, is Copacabana from NARS. Again, one of those products that's a little bit more of a spendy product, but they're very
really similar.
And this is one of those products, it's just so beautiful. I mean, words can't really describe some of these products. It blends beautifully into the skin without any effort. You just kind of doop and just kind of pat it out really quick and you're done.
And I think any skin tone can wear this.
Any skin tone, and it's not a fussy product, and I like it because it doesn't really have much of a color. I mean, you're not gonna be able to see it on my hand. It just has a sheen, so it's one of those products that really any skin tone could use. Some highlighters are too beige, too pink, too ashy, so depending on what skin tone you are, they're not gonna look right. But this one doesn't really have a color. It just is like a really pretty sheen, so it's not adding color to your cheekbones, it's just adding that really pretty sheen. And I like to either use my finger, or I really love the tapered kabuki brush from Sigma. It's, I like the density, I like that it's pointed, because you can kind of just dab it on the top of there and just put it right on your cheekbones. So I love that. And then another find for me was the Balm Mary Luminizer, and it's just beautiful. I mean, it's...
Do you have it on today?
I don't have it on today, but it is like so beautiful. It's not gonna, I don't know why I just bothered to show you, because it's not gonna show up, but really beautiful champagne highlight. Again, one that I think any skin tone can use. You need a very light hand, because too much is going to be too frosty. So I just use a fan brush and then dust it on my cheekbones, and I just find that it works out perfectly.
I love it. I had a little one from my Birchbox.
Yes,
and I
think it's all for our face products. So we're going to go to like part 2, which we'll do eye products. So we'll see you guys soon.